All right, let's jump right in. We're going to tackle a huge question today, something that big companies deal with all the time. How in the world do you securely manage digital access for thousands, maybe tens of thousands of employees across all their different apps and desktops? I mean, seriously, just think about that for a second. You've got a massive company. You have thousands of people, and they all need access to different digital tools just to get their jobs done. It's kind of like you're managing a million different digital doors, and every single one has a different lock. How do you possibly keep all of that secure and efficient and, organized? Okay, so to really get our heads around this whole thing, let's use a metaphor, a really simple one. Just imagine that your company's entire digital world, I'm talking all its apps, all its files, all its desktops, is one giant gleaming skyscraper, and every single employee works somewhere inside this building. Right, so if your company is this giant skyscraper, how do you actually get in? And maybe even more important, how do you make sure people only go to the floors and into the rooms they're actually supposed to be in? Well, the answer is a very, very smart keycard. And this is where we start talking about something called user entitlement. So what is this user entitlement thing, really? Well, it's the behind-the-scenes system, the function that decides who gets access to what. It's the engine that defines, manages, and restricts access to all of those virtual desktops and applications. Let's bring that right back to our skyscraper. Put simply, user entitlement is the brain that intelligently programs every single digital keycard for every employee. It knows exactly who you are and which doors you're allowed to open. It's as simple as that. But here's the thing. Not all keycards are created equal, right? I mean, a CEO is going to need access to way different floors than an intern does, and an accountant needs a totally different set of tools than a graphic designer. So let's look at how the system gives the right level of access to the right people. And this is basically how it breaks down into two main types of access. On the one hand, you've got desktop pools. Think of that like getting a key to an entire floor full of identical offices. You get a full virtual desktop experience. On the other hand, you have application pools. This is more like getting a key to just one specific conference room. You only get access to a single app that you need, not the whole shebang. Okay, great. So we figured out how to manage one skyscraper. That's cool. But what happens when your company is just massive? So big it's not one building, but a whole global campus of interconnected skyscrapers. This is where things get really interesting. And this is a huge challenge for those giant multinational companies. They have these different data centers, which in this world are often called pods, scattered all over the globe. So how do you give an employee who's sitting in London seamless access to a tool that's hosted on a server in Tokyo without it becoming a total management nightmare? Well, the solution is a really cool feature called Global Entitlements. This thing is basically the master keycard system for the entire campus. It lets an administrator grant you access to resources no matter which building or which pod they happen to be in. And you can really see the difference here. On the left, with a standard entitlement, that's like your keycard only working in one building. Try to go next door? No luck. But on the right, with a global entitlement, boom, that same keycard works seamlessly across the entire campus. It just simplifies everything, for you and for the IT admins. Okay, so having a smart keycard is awesome, but it's pretty useless if there's no one there to check it, right? So think of this next part as the super intelligent digital security guard standing at the front door of every single one of these buildings. In this guard, they've got a really strict rule book they follow. Before they let you in, they're asking some key questions. First up, are you in the right location? It might block access to sensitive company files if you're trying to log in from a coffee shop's public Wi-Fi. Second, are you using an approved entry point? And finally, the big one, does your keycard even have permission for the door you're trying to open? So the whole check-in process is super logical, and it happens in the blink of an eye. You show up at a digital door, you try to log in, your keycard gets scanned to check your entitlements, then the guard instantly verifies your location and all the other security policies. And only if everything checks out, then you're granted access. It's this powerful, automated check that happens in milliseconds. Okay, so we've been talking about skyscrapers and keycards and digital security guards, but let's pull back for a second. Why does any of this actually matter for a business today? What's the big deal? And really, this whole metaphor just ties it all together so neatly, doesn't it? The access control, that's the programming of the keycard. The global entitlements, that's the campus-wide master system. Management is all done from a central security office. And the security, well, that's just the rule book our digital guard follows. It all works together to make things more secure and way more productive.
When you strip everything else away, this is what it all boils down to. The whole system acts as a single powerful security rule. It's the intelligent glue that connects the right users to the right resources and makes sure every single connection is secure and follows the rules.
So the most important thing to take away from all this is that it's not just about opening doors. It's about opening the right doors for the right people at the right time. That's everything. It's about giving people exactly what they need to be productive, but absolutely nothing more. And that, right there, is the cornerstone of modern digital security. And that kind of leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to chew on, doesn't it? We've just walked through today's really sophisticated smart key system for our digital skyscrapers. But what's next? What does the truly keyless, the totally seamless, the even more intelligent entry system of our digital future even look like? Something to think about.